It is the second day of the NBA regular season, and of course, we're predicting every single NBA game here in 2024. Yes, daily. We are going to be jumping on here and predicting every single NBA game. I'm going to shoot for 10 o'clock Pacific, or 10 o'clock a.m. on the West Coast, and that is 1 o'clock on the East Coast every single day for our NBA picks. We have got, I believe, 10 games today, and again, we're going to be doing this every single day for the rest of the NBA season. We have 4 more games tomorrow, and again, we're doing this every single day, so make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like, because again, this is coming to you daily on the channel, and hitting that subscribe button down below and leaving a like really does help out the channel a lot. So again, we've got 10 games today, but before we get into that, folks, make sure to check out our World Series predictions with the Yankees and the Dodgers. Link is in the description down below. We posted our college football predictions yesterday. We posted our UFC 308 Topuria versus Holloway predictions on Sunday, and tomorrow, or actually later today, we will have our NFL predictions as well. But now let's get into this 10-game NBA slate. We will have every single game on this NBA slate, plus I will have a best bet at the end of each episode as well, or each video as well for the NBA season, so stay tuned for that. I will explain that as we go on later in this video. Let's start things off here with a game at the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. We have got the Indiana Pacers and the Detroit Pistons. I don't understand why the Pacers are only getting 4.5 points in this game, guys. I don't understand it. I don't. This is going to become a theme for the rest of the season, but we're going to be taking the Pacers a lot. Now, I did go to like 12 Pacers games last season, so I might be a little bit biased here, but I love this Indiana team. I really do. Again, there's a reason the Pacers were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and there's a reason they played the Celtics close in that series as well, and I understand they got swept, but they played them very competitively in that series, and you saw them, of course, beat the Knicks in the semifinals as well. And again, you know, we went 1-1 in our picks yesterday, got the Lakers right over the Timberwolves. We picked the Knicks to upset the Celtics. Obviously, that did not go our way. But I think that goes to show that the Pacers, I think, are still the second best team in the Eastern Conference. Sure, the Knicks improved, but I think Indiana is still the second best team. And Tyrese Haliburton, guys, needs to be respected as a top 15 player in all of basketball. Okay? I'm not going to accept any other, answer when it comes to where is Tyrese Haliburton in comparison to the rest of the NBA. Guys, he's a top 15 player in the league. Shout out to the Winter Soldier, Tyrese Haliburton. If you know, you know. But this team is loaded, man. They went out, they got Pascal Siakam last year, and Siakam's been great for them. Miles Turner, of course, is turning into one of the greatest Indiana Pacers of all time just because of the longevity he has had with the franchise. Nembhard is a good two for this team as well. You got the bench unit as well. McConnell, Shepard, Benedict Mathurin, Obi Toppin's now coming off the bench for this team. They've got guys, James Wiseman, Isaiah Jackson. I like the depth this Indiana team has, and I don't know why they're only getting 4.5. I get they're on the road, but guys, Detroit really hasn't done much to improve this season. Sure, they have Tobias Harris. Jalen Duren's going to continue to get better. Tim Hardaway Jr. is coming off the bench. They got Malik Beasley now, but that doesn't make up for, the way the Pistons play. Cade Cunningham obviously is going to be the ball dominant guard, for this Pistons team, but I don't think they're comparable at all to the Pacers. I think the Pacers are still a way better team. Again, I expect the Pacers to be there at the end of the season. I expect the Pacers to be a team that is going to be in the Final Four, if not Final Four, the Final 8 teams this season, and I don't see the Pistons making a run even to the play-in. So this is a mismatch. I get the games in Detroit, but this is all Indiana. Give me the Pacers to go on the road. They're going to easily cover the 4.5, and they're going to win this game as well. We go on to our next one. We go to Atlanta. We've got the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Brooklyn Nets. You want to talk about more bad basketball teams? The Brooklyn Nets are exactly that. Guys, listen to what the Nets are trotting out there and listen to their starting 5. Dennis Schroeder, Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Nick Claxton. That's their starting 5. The Pistons are bad. The Nets are going to be a whole nother level of bad this season. Ben Simmons is coming off the bench. Bojan Bogdanovic is coming off the bench. This team is atrocious. They are horrible. And the Atlanta Hawks, guys, we're going to see what we get at the Hawks this season. I don't know how good this team's truly going to be. Obviously, DeJounte Murray is gone. They decided to keep Trae Young over Murray, which I'm not against at all. I really like Trae Young. I'm a huge Trae Young fan. I don't love this Hawks team as a whole. I think they are they're going to be a play-in team like it seems like Atlanta is every single season. But I'm not blown away by this Hawks team. I mean, Trae Young at the 1, Dyson Daniels going to be starting at the 2, DeAndre Hunter, Jalen Johnson, Clint Capella. Again, Jalen Johnson has been very good for this team. Clint Capella is going to be a center. Obviously, he's been around for a while with Indiana, but he's always been good for them. Their bench unit, you're going to have guys like Bogdanovic, Ristasher, obviously the second overall pick in the draft. You have Larry Nance Jr., Onyeka Okongwu. Like, there's guys the Hawks have. They're the better team. Don't get me wrong. This is going to be a National Blowout Association game. Again, we got to take that into account as we go down the stretch of the NBA season. I get we just started, but every day there are given games that are just going to be blowouts. Like, there are games in the NBA where it's just simply over by the first half. So take that into consideration when you're betting on props for the NBA too. You could have Trae Young over on assists. He'll get 8 in the first half. You need 9.5, or you need 10.5. And he only plays like 2 minutes in the second half just because the Hawks are up by too many points. Again, I'm not saying that. I don't even know what Trae Young's line is tomorrow on assists, but I'm just saying, again, there's a lot of blowouts in the NBA, especially in the regular season when teams fall behind by a lot in the first half or in the third quarter. You just don't get the starting unit. You don't get a lot of the stars playing the fourth quarter for good reason. You don't want guys getting injured like Chris Godwin did on Monday Night Football for the Buccaneers. Thanks, Todd Bowles. Anyways, give me the Atlanta Hawks. They're going to dominate this game. They've got the better team. They've got more weapons to score on offense, on the offensive side of the ball. And again, the Brooklyn Nets, guys, who's going to score for this team? I mean, Cam Thomas, sure. Yes, Thomas is going to put up points. But other than Cameron Thomas, who's going to put up points? Schroeder's not going to score. DFS is not going to score. Claxton doesn't score. It's up to Cam Thomas and Cameron Johnson to score the ball for this Nets team. On paper, they're not going to win 20 games. I'm just saying. Give me the Hawks to cover easily. They are going to blow out the Brooklyn Nets. I don't care. Actually, the game's in Atlanta, so even better. Give me the Hawks all day long. Next up, we go on to Toronto. Up to the 6, we have got the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Toronto Raptors. We are taking the Cavs to win, but we are taking the Raptors to cover the 6. Guys, 6 points is a lot. It's a lot of points. I think this is a competitive game. I think it's a close game that I think the Cavs win, but I do think the Raptors end up covering. I like what the Raptors got. Scotty Barnes, again, he's going to be an elite player in the NBA if he's not already one, but Scotty Barnes is going to be an all-star, I think, for a long time in this league. And I like what they've got going, obviously, with Emmanuel Quickly. RJ Barrett, I don't believe is playing tomorrow. I don't think he is. They've got a lot of injuries on this Raptors team, so actually, maybe we shouldn't take them +6. RJ Barrett's not playing. Kelly Olynyk's not playing. Bruce Brown's not playing. Jacoby Walter's not playing. Who's the backup to? Davion Mitchell? I still think they keep it competitive. I think they do. They're going to find ways to score. Grady Dick is getting the start now. Or Davion Mitchell's the backup 1. Who's their backup 2 tomorrow? Oh, they're screwed. Or today, excuse me. I don't know why I'm saying tomorrow. The Raptors are screwed. Are all these guys really not playing? RJ Barrett's not playing. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. We're switching the pick. I did not know all these guys were out. Ignore the +6. We're taking the Cavs to cover 6 points. The Raptors have all their big, role players out in this game, plus RJ Barrett's not playing, who's their starting small forward. Bruce Brown, their backup small forward, is not starting either. Jacoby Walter, their first-round pick's not playing. Their backup center, Kelly Olynyk's not playing, so Bruno Fernando's going to get minutes. Who's going to play the 3 tomorrow? I genuinely don't know. What, Mitchell's going to get bumped to the 2, Grady Dick's going to play the 3? I keep saying tomorrow, it's today. I'm just recording this. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm recording this at 3 in the morning on Wednesday. Yeah, what are the Raptors going to do? Now, the Cavs, again, this is a team that last year made it to the second round of the playoffs. Obviously, they beat the Magic in 7 games in the first round on the NBA TV first round of the playoffs. But this team's good, obviously. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell is their primary ball scorer. But you got Darius Garland, who's going to be, assisting the Rock. You guys, Isaac Okoro. You got Evan Mobley. You got Jared Allen. Again, I trust this Cavaliers team. It's never been a doubt in my mind the Cavs aren't going to win this game tomorrow in Toronto. It's just a matter of how much do they win the game by. Again, betting points and betting the spread on basketball in the NBA is always difficult because you just don't know how things are going to go. Again, the backdoor covers will absolutely kill you in the NBA just because that's just what happens. I like the Cavs to get it done here. They are the better team. They have more depth, and the Raptors have 4 guys hurt tomorrow. 4 guys who are in their primary rotation. That's brutal. The Raptors are going to lose, again, once we get to that second unit. And even, again, with their starting unit, they're going to be without Bruce Brown coming off the bench, and RJ Barrett, their starting small forward, is not playing either. So they're without their 2 small forwards. Jacoby Walter's not going to be making his debut. Olynyk's not playing. I think it's trouble for the Raptors. Again, originally we had +6 for the Raps, but after further review and looking at their injuries, I don't really like what the Raptors have got going on tomorrow. Today, keep doing it. The Cavs are going to cover 6 and they're going to win the basketball game. Next up, we go to the ESPN game. The Philadelphia 76ers host the Milwaukee Bucks. Guys, we're taking the Bucks to win and we're taking the Bucks to cover as well. Why? Because Joel Embiid and Paul George are not playing. I get it. Chris Middleton's not playing for the Bucks. They still have guys who are going to score. Giannis is going to get his shots. He's going to get his scoring opportunities. Dame is going to put shots up. They have Gary Trent at the 2 now. Brook Lopez obviously still starting at the 5 as well. But the Bucks are going to find ways to score. They have Taurean Prince, who has been reunited now with Darvin Ham. Great. I'm a little bit concerned about this bench unit for the Bucks. I don't think it's all that impressive. I think it's gotten worse, I'll be honest with you. And no, I'm not just saying that because of Taurean Prince, but obviously it's going to be worse tomorrow with Middleton not playing. One would have to assume Taurean Prince is going to start tomorrow. I don't think Pat Connaughton's starting. It's going to be Taurean Prince at the 3. On Tuesday, or on Wednesday, I assume it's going to be Taurean Prince at the 3. But the Bucks are fine. I understand, again, not having Middleton's a big part of their team. But you know what's a bigger loss in this game is Joel Embiid not starting for the Sixers and Paul George with that hyperextension not playing as well. So Kelly Oubre will fill in at the 3, and then I assume it's going to be Andre Drummond at the 5. That's great and all, but again, Embiid is such a huge part of the Sixers team, and we saw it last season for points of the year as well. Tyrese Maxey is not able to win as a number 1 option, at least consistency, and at least against good teams as well. I do not trust a Tyrese Maxey-led team to go out there and win basketball games. And it's not like, oh, okay, just Embiid's out. Paul George is going to be accompanying Tyrese Maxey. No, Paul George is out as well. So the starting lineup today for the 76ers is Tyrese Maxey, Eric Gordon, Kelly Oubre, Caleb Martin, Andre Drummond. That team does not beat the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, hell, maybe we get a Jared McCain appearance, which would be cool. We probably will get a Jared McCain appearance at some point in time. I'm not going to lie, I forgot Reggie Jackson was still in the league. He is at 34 years old. Shout out to him. But regardless of that, I think the Bucks are the better team. Again, with the injuries involved, straight up, both these teams at full health, I would lean towards the Bucks. I trust in Giannis. I trust in Damian Lillard. I think these guys are going to go out there and get the job done. And on top of that, they're playing a bruised and battered 76ers team that are missing 2 of their starters. That's rough, dude. That is rough. Again, and you got this whole locker room dynamic with Kyle Lowry and Jared McCain. Kyle Lowry hates the TikToks and the vlogs. That's half a joke, but still, I just had to mention that. I think the Bucks are the better team. Again, I think the injuries are really going to hurt the 76ers, and I really like the value we're able to get right now in the Bucks. Again, I'd never recommend betting spreads on basketball, but if you do, I don't mind 3.5 for Milwaukee. I think they kind of get away from the Sixers in this game. -175 on the money line. Give me the Bucks to win this game in the opener on the road at Wells Fargo Arena. Give me the Milwaukee Bucks to win again on the road. Next up, we go to the Battle of Florida. We've got the Miami Heat taking on the Orlando Magic, and we are picking the dogs in this game. Give me the Orlando Magic. This is a team, guys, that is going to continue to take steps in the right direction this season. Again, last year was a huge step up for the Orlando Magic. They play excellent defense. Their scoring sometimes leaves a lot to be desired, but they played tremendous defense, and that's how they were able to win playoff games against the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is a team that's only going to get better. They have a young core with a couple veterans, but a young core that is only going to continue to improve. And I really like the KCP pickup. I really like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope being on this team because he offers some scoring and some firepower to the starting lineup. Again, KCP is going to fire his threes every single game, and it's going to help out this Orlando squad. It's going to help their spacing out as well. Jalen Suggs obviously just got paid, which I think he got paid too much, but it's fine. I'm happy for Jalen Suggs. He got that contract. He's a starting point guard of this Magic team. You've got KCP at the 2, Franz Wagner at the 3, Paolo Banchero is a top 20 player in the game. He's at the 4, and Wendell Carter Jr. is at the 5. And they've got a tremendous bench unit too. Cole Anthony, Gary Harris, Anthony Black, Jonathan Isaac, Mo Wagner. I mean, it's a really good bench unit that the Magic bring in, and they're one of these teams that we saw it in the postseason, and we saw it at the tail end of the year last year too. Again, now that Jonathan Isaac's fully healthy as well, he's a very good defensive player, one of the better defensive players you're going to find, especially off the bench in the NBA right now. But Once they go to their second unit, they're fine. Of course, Orlando, again, their second unit, I'm not saying they're better than their first unit, but they're able to seamlessly kind of fit in and really feed off of what the starters bring. You look at the Miami Heat, I feel like, again, we say it every season. Again, I didn't do NBA videos last year, but, I kind of feel like this is kind of the vibes around Miami every single year, is that they're due for regression. I don't know. Again, and obviously that regression does kind of center around Jimmy Butler. He's 35. When will Jimmy finally take that step back? I don't know if it's this season. Obviously, Jimmy dealt with his injuries last year, but you look at what the Heat have. Obviously, Terry Rozier at the 1 now, Tyler Hero at the 2, Jimmy Butler, Nikola Jovic at the 4, and then Bam Adebayo at the 5. No Josh Richardson tomorrow. They've got Hekez off the bench. They've got Alec Burks, Duncan Robinson, K. Love, I believe, is the backup 4, and then Khalil Ware is that 5 coming off the bench for Miami. Obviously, the former Indiana Hoosier. I personally don't think Khalil Ware is all that great. I understand he had a great summer league. I watched Khalil Ware play every game last year live in person at Assembly Hall, and I wasn't too impressed with Khalil Ware. I don't know. I don't know how well he'll fit in at the NBA level and not when he's just playing summer league games. I understand he had a monster summer league for Miami. I don't really know how he plays once he enters the actual NBA, and I guess we will see it tomorrow. But I like Orlando here, guys. They're going to play great defense. I think they're going to really limit what Miami's able to do in this game. And I do want to state how big of a pickup KCP is. I think these two teams are very evenly matched, but I do think Orlando's the better team. And the only reason Miami are the favorites in this game is because they're at home. But again, you get two Florida teams here. The Heat never have a great home court advantage, at least until the playoffs. They really never get the greatest crowd, or even if when they do, it's not the most engaged crowd either. Give me Orlando. I like the Magic to win this little battle of Florida here. I think they're the better team. Again, I really like the depth that the Magic have, and they have depth that simply put the Heat don't have. So I like the dogs in this game. Give me the Orlando Magic to go on the road and beat the Miami Heat. We trust in Paolo Banchero. We trust in the defense. Jalen Suggs got the big contract. Now he's got to play his ass off. Give me the Orlando Magic to go on the road and beat the Miami Heat. Next up, we go to Houston. We have got an Eastern Conference versus a Western Conference game. It's the Charlotte Hornets taking on the Houston Rockets. I think the Hornets are getting too many points on the road. We are taking them to cover +7. I don't think they outright beat Houston, but I don't think it's too impossible. I don't think it is. LaMelo Ball is fully back at full health. So Melo is playing. He is starting at the 1. You got Brandon Miller at the 2, who is only going to improve, and he's going to be a rising star in the NBA if he's not already. You got Miles Bridges at the 4, Josh Green at the 3. Mark Williams is not playing tomorrow, so I assume it will be Nick Richards starting at the 5 for Charlotte. Taj Gibson still in the NBA? Seriously? At 39, Taj Gibson's going to be the backup 5 tomorrow for the Hornets, or today for the Hornets. They signed him? From New York, right? I'm pretty sure he was on New York last season, right? He was on the Pistons last year? Guys, I don't even remember that. I'll be honest with you. I thought he was on the Knicks. He was on both those teams. Did he not finish on the Knicks? He finished on the Pistons? Regardless of that, Taj Gibson's a Rocket. No, he's a Hornet, excuse me. I think 7's too much. Guys, Houston doesn't blow me away. I get it. Sengun's great. He is. He's a very good 5. But what really impresses you on this Rockets team? I've never been the biggest fan of this Rockets squad. Again, this is a team that was in great position to make the play-in last year, make the playoffs, but they just kind of fell off as the season went on, past in the month of February into March. The Rockets really just started to lose games. They couldn't keep up with these other teams in the play-in race. But I'm not impressed with what the Rockets have. Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith, Alfred Sengun. Obviously, Sengun's great, but the rest of these guys, I don't really like all that much. Steven Adams is on this team now. Will he play today? I don't know, but Adams is is going to be in the rotation when he is healthy. The Rockets just don't blow me away. I think they win the game. I think they're better than Charlotte, but I don't think they're 7 points better than Charlotte. I think, again, these two teams are, to me, pretty evenly matched. I think the only reason why I'm slightly favoring Houston is because this game is in the Toyota Center and it is in Texas. That's the only reason I'm going with the Rockets in this one. I think, again, I don't think the Hornets are going to be all that bad this season. I think this is a team that's a borderline play-in team considering the talent that they have. LaMelo Ball, as long as he stays healthy, the Hornets should be fine. I understand, again, Charlotte was one of the bottom 3 teams in the Eastern Conference last year. In the Eastern Conference, Joel Embiid would pad his stats against these guys every single game last year, but they had the Pistons, you have the Nets, you have the Hornets, these really bad teams in the Eastern Conference that Embiid, and the Sixers would always kill, and the Celtics, they would get him like 5 times a year, or at least that's what it seemed. I don't think the Hornets are going to be that bottom filler team anymore. I think they're going to be a lot more improved, and I think they're going to give a lot of these teams a run for their money. So I get it. I think I get it. I'm going to take the Rockets to win, but I just think 7 points is too much. Give me the Hornets to cover that. But again, we are going with the Houston Rockets to straight up win the game. Next up, the Wizards was the other bottom feeder team I was thinking of at the Eastern Conference. Next up, we go to New Orleans. We have got the Pelicans taking on the Chicago Bulls. It is the Lonzo Ball game. Obviously, because Lonzo has played for both these squads. And Lonzo Ball, guys, is finally suiting up again. You don't understand how happy I am. Guys, look back in my room back there. Right there. That's LaMelo Ball. Given did I put that up when I was very young and when he got picked by the Los Angeles Lakers and when Magic Johnson, or even not Magic Johnson, LeVar Ball said he's going to be the next Magic Johnson, 100%. I almost bought ZO2s at one point in time as well. But LaMelo Ball, it's Kobe and LaMelo Ball on my wall. I have my favorite players ever on my wall. And yes, I put these up when I was a lot younger, but still, Victor Oladipo's back there. I can get into a Victor Oladipo story time in another video, but I'm excited that Lonzo Ball is getting to play basketball because it's been a long time. I didn't know if this day would ever come. I'm glad Lonzo's back. He's going to be the backup one, obviously, for Chicago. I think this is a closer game than people think. I think the Pelicans just kind of pull away at the very end of this game just because this is a much improved team. But I like the Bulls a lot this season, man. I think the Bulls are going to surprise a lot of people. Guys, you want to hate on Josh Giddey? I really like the Josh Giddey move for Chicago. Josh Giddey's still a young player, guys. I think we kind of forget about that too, just because of this little situation. But Josh Giddey's 22 years old, and he's going to be a very solid guy for this Bulls team. I believe he's going to be the starting one for the squad. Kobe White's going to be at the 2, Zach LaVine at the 3, Patrick Williams at the 4, Nikola Vucevic at the 5. I kind of like what the Bulls have been putting together. I think this is a team that's going to play decent basketball this season, but in the opener on the road in New Orleans, this is a little rough. It's a little rough. Just because it's their first game, and the Pelicans, again, get this game at home. DeJounte Murray, first game as a New Orleans Pelican, and everyone should be playing except for Trey Murphy, I think. So DeJounte, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Zion, Herbert Jones is the starting 5, which is a little odd, I'm not going to lie, but I think the Pels, they do lack a little bit of depth, personally. I mean, Alvarado's the backup one. No Trey Murphy tomorrow means I don't know who the hell else is coming off the bench, like legitimately Javonte Green. Daniel Theis will probably be coming off the bench at some point in time in this game today, but the Pelicans starting 5 it clears Chicago by a pretty far margin. And I just think it's going to take the Bulls some time to kind of get, back into the swing of things this season, especially with Giddey now, kind of running the offense, Lonzo Ball coming back off the bench. I think it's going to take Chicago a little bit of time. Again, I believe in this Bulls team. I think this is the Bulls team that's going to be, I don't know about the postseason, but they will be in the play-in personally. I think so. So again, just give Chicago some time. They're going to be better, but give me the Pelicans to win this game, and I think they're going to cover the 6.5 as well. Give me the Pels at home as we go on to our next one here. We go to Salt Lake City, Utah in the Delta Center. We've got the Utah Jazz taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Give me the Grizzlies to go on the road. Give me them to cover as well. They are just the better basketball team, guys. The Grizzlies are better. At least on paper they are. No Jaren Jackson tomorrow, so that means Aldama, I do believe, is going to start. Luke Kennard's hurt too, and Vince Williams is hurt. I did not know about those latter two. I'm not going to lie. But guys, the Grizzlies are such a different team with Ja Morant on the court than what they are when Ja Morant is not on the court. It changes everything because it gives the Grizzlies just a sense of Ja Morant's playing, we can win. When Ja's not playing, they don't play with that same swagger that what they do when Ja is on the court. Again, Morant completely changes this team. And yes, it's going to be the 20 plus points a night that he's going to put up. But again, Ja Morant opens up opportunities for all the other guys on this team. It sets up shooting opportunities for Desmond Bane. It sets up, Luke Kennard was playing. It's going to set up Luke Kennard. It sets up Jaren Jackson down low. That's what makes this Grizzlies team when they don't have a primary or a center point, a focus point of this offense like what Ja Morant is. They struggle. But Ja Morant is back, and as long as Morant can stay healthy for the rest of the season, they're going to be a tough team to beat. Again, don't forget, just 2 years ago, the Grizzlies were the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. I'm not saying they're going to be that this year. I'm not. But I think this is a team that does hang around the playoff race for a while this year. I get it. Ja doesn't have the most help. Depends again on the Jaren Jackson injury. I believe he'll be back shortly. Zach Edey should be getting a start in his first ever game. Of obviously the center from Purdue. I believe Edey's going to be starting today against Utah, and I do trust the Grizzlies to win this game. Because of Ja Morant, he should be able to will them to victory, and also because the Jazz are just the Jazz. Guys, Keontae George, Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen, Taylor Hendricks, John Collins. Colin Sexton, hey, career, he's revived his career in Utah. Colin Sexton, heart and soul of Salt Lake City. He plays hard every single night. You know what the effort you're going to get out of Colin Sexton. You know what Colin Sexton's going to bring to the table. Lauri Markkanen obviously is a great scorer for this team as well. But the rest of the starting lineup does leave a lot to be desired. John Collins, obviously a new pickup for the Jazz. He's going to be starting at the 5. I just think the Grizzlies are going to they're going to just outmatch the Jazz. They're a much bigger team too. Again, we will see how Zach Edey plays, but Zach Edey probably be matched up with John Collins for most of this game. I could see them switching Lauri onto him just on defense. We'll see, but Zach Edey, guys, if he can use his size, which, didn't really do the most of that at Purdue, but if he can use all 7'4" of him, he's gonna be trouble for Utah. I don't know about the rest of the league, but for the Jazz, yeah, Zach Edey's gonna give them some trouble. Give me the Grizzlies to cover the 2.5. They're going to go on the road and win this game as well. As we go on to the Warriors and the Portland Trailblazers over in the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon. We are taking the Golden State Warriors to cover the 6, and we are taking them to win as well. Guys, I'm not big on the Warriors this year. I don't think anybody is. But the Portland Trailblazers might be the worst team in the Western Conference. They are a team that's going to get better, don't get me wrong. But guys, just hear what the Blazers have this year. And don't get me wrong, guys, the Warriors are a team that's going to miss the playoffs too. I don't care. Oh, they have Steph Curry. Great. Curry's phenomenal. He's still a top player. He's still a premier player in this league. But guys, Curry's got no help this season. They need to get Curry some help, or they need to let Curry go play for the Lakers. I'm just saying. But guys, the starting lineup for the Warriors is Curry, Pozinski, Andrew Wiggins, Kuminga, Draymond Green at the 5. Trace Jackson Davis, the former Indiana Hoosier, coming off the bench. Buddy Hield's going to be that 6th man for this team who should, give them somewhat of a spark, with this 3-point shooting. When he's on, he's good, but, in times, Buddy Hield will just, miss, and miss some more. The Blazers, though, guys, listen to what the Blazers are going to be throwing out there. Scoot, Anfernee Simons, Denny, Jeremy Grant, DeAndre Ayton. Ooh, it's just a bad game, guys. It's a bad game. And now, I was going to put the Warriors in the best bet. I'll kind of preview right now. The best bet that's coming up later on in this video, shortly after our last game, coming up next, is a parlay. It's a 2-legger. I was considering putting the Warriors in that, but I can't trust this Warriors team now. I mean, make a joke out as much as you want out of Chris Paul, but Chris Paul did lead the second unit for this Warriors team, and now that's led by DeAnthony Melton. They just lost so much depth this season. Obviously, again, Klay Thompson being gone for the first time is massive as well. Klay is now a Dallas Maverick. But all of that put together, guys, the Warriors just aren't that good this season. They just aren't. And again, that's what makes their 2021 championship so special. Don't get me wrong, is because they were able to come back and win that title. And that feels like a blur now, doesn't it? Considering the last couple seasons for Golden State. I don't know, man. I don't think the Warriors are going to have that great of a season this year. I think they beat Portland just because, legitimately, guys, Portland's the worst team in the West. I think they are. Until I'm proven wrong, the Trailblazers are the worst team in the Western Conference. Golden State should dominate. I don't know about dominate this game. They should win it. They are 6-point favorites. I think they cover. Just because, again, Portland found themselves in so many positions last year when they were just trailing by 1 million at the end of the game. They're just getting blown out. I feel like this is one of these games again. Give me the Warriors to cover easily. Give me them to win, obviously, as well. As we go on to our final game, we go to the Intuit Dome. For the first time ever, the Los Angeles Clippers play at the Intuit Dome, and they play the Phoenix Suns. They will lose. Why? No Kawhi Leonard, no victory. Who is starting for the Clippers? Let's hear it, guys. Paul George is gone. It's not like Paul George was the greatest, but guys, this is what the Clippers are going to be trotting out today. James Harden, Norman Powell, Terrence Mann, Derrick Jones Jr., or Amir Coffey, who I played in 2K once upon a time, and Zubac. What are we doing? Guys, we are hammering the Phoenix Suns at 4.5. Actually, I don't know about hammering, but on paper, the Suns should dominate. Tyus Jones the 1, Book, Beal, Durant, Nurkic. Their bench is still at times, don't get me wrong. I mean, they run their 7-man rotation, 8-man rotation. Grayson Allen coming off the bench, Royce O'Neal, they'll have Plumlee as well. Yes, and Bol, obviously, I forgot about Bol. But yeah, the Suns' depth does lack sometimes, and they have their nights where they are really on. They have their nights where they seriously just can't get anything going. I feel like this is a game, though, where they are uber motivated to go in there and beat the Clippers on opening night. Especially, again, it is the first game in a new arena, in a new dome, and the Suns should absolutely obliterate the Clippers. Guys, Kawhi Leonard, again, he is such a detrimental part to this Clippers team, and it's different this year, though, because in points last season, and a lot of points in the last couple of years where Kawhi's been hurt, all right, Paul George can pick up the load. And Paul George, again, you don't really trust Paul George to win you a playoff series and win you a championship, but if you need to win games in the regular season, Paul George can do that. Paul George is gone now, guys. James Harden, who, yes, he wasn't bad in Los Angeles. He wasn't bad last season. But are we relying on James Harden to win games in the big 2024 at 35 years of age? No, we're not. Norman Powell will have his games where he'll go off. He'll hit 5 threes, 4 threes, and it'll look great. But are we relying on these guys to beat the Phoenix Suns? No, we're not. Again, Kawhi being out really hurts this Clippers team. He's going to be out for a while. You know, I don't know. He's out indefinitely. Until Kawhi comes back, we cannot treat the Los Angeles Clippers as true contenders in the Western Conference. I'll make the case even when Kawhi is back, they're not true contenders. But for now, we can't even pick them. We can't even say they're threats to beat any good teams in the Western Conference right now. So that's why we are going to continue to fade the Los Angeles Clippers until proven wrong. I'm going to fade the New York Knicks a lot this season, too, after their first performance. I'm joking. We'll see how they do in their next game on Friday against the Pacers. But I think I know where I'm going with that game. Regardless, give me the Phoenix Suns to beat up on the Clippers. This game will be over by halftime. This will be a National Blowout Association game. The Suns have their way with the Clippers and their funny new logo. As we go on to our final segment, which is our best bet, and our best bet is a parlay, in my opinion. Now, okay, I'm not saying, even though I think it's going to hit, I'm saying this is the best bet I think I'm making this week, okay? Pacers money line, or today. Pacers money line, Bucks money line. That's my best bet. And here's why. I've already gone over these games some. But the Indiana Pacers are the much better team between them and the Detroit Pistons. Guys, Detroit doesn't really play the Pacers all that well. I believe they beat them once they definitely did not beat the Pacers last year. They play the Pacers tough. I believe they had a close game last year in Detroit towards I believe like in March-ish. I could be completely mistaken, but I remember I kind of remember how the Pacers had a close game with the Pistons at one point in time last season. Regardless, the Pistons are still the Pistons. I understand they got better in the offseason. I understand they added some depth. The Pacers, though, truly, I think are going to be an elite team in the Eastern Conference, and I think they're going to be one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. So, again, stay tuned. Keep joining us in the channel every single day. But we're going to be picking the Indiana Pacers a lot. And on top of that, we're taking the Milwaukee Bucks, too, because, the Sixers, I get Middleton's out, but the Sixers are going to be missing Embiid, and they're going to be missing Paul George. I do not trust Tyrese Maxey to win this game by himself, because ultimately that's kind of what this is. I'm not trusting Tyrese Maxey to win a game by himself, and I'm not taking the Detroit Pistons to win any game. So with that being said, we are parlaying the two road teams. The Pacers, the 4/7 o'clock slate. Same with the Bucks playing at 4:30 on ESPN. We're going to find out pretty quickly where our money's at early on this Wednesday slate. We're taking the Pacers money line, and we're taking the Bucks money line. That should get you to plus 131. I like the odds for the two games, and if you want something for the nightcap, then give me the Phoenix Suns to cover the 4.5 as well against the Los Angeles Clippers. I don't feel as good about that one. That's why I didn't include the Suns in this segment, but give me, again, Bucks money line, Pacers money line, get you plus 131, some plus money, and that's how we are going to cap off this Wednesday, October 23rd slate here in the NBA. So, folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow, again, like we are every single day for the rest of the NBA season with daily NBA picks. We've got 4 games tomorrow. The big headline, I would say, probably Thunder Nuggets, but also Wemby versus Luka. We've got Spurs and Mavs tomorrow as well. So, folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure that subscribe button down below for more. And Mamba, forever.